In this video, we are going to practice graphing piecewise functions. So looking at problem number 1, the first piece we have is y equals 2x. And this ink is too thick, so I'm going to calm that down. So y equals 2x. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that line. The y-intercept is 0 because there's no extra number, on the end there. So this would start off at 0. The slope is 2, so that means up 2 over 1. So that would be like this. And I could extend the line in the other direction by going down to left 1 like this. But we don't get to graph the entire line. We're only going to graph the part where the x values are less than -2. So let's look at an x value of -2. Here's -2, and this is the point that on the graph at -2, right here. Now I need to make this an open circle because it doesn't have the or equal to line to it. So this is going to be an open circle. Okay, now less than -2, so that means I'm going to go to the left, all right, which in this case would look like this. And once you've done that, you can erase these guide points that you made. Can I get this to that one? I knew that was going to happen. All right, so that's the first piece of our piecewise function. Now our second piece is y equals x minus 2. Okay, so that means a y-intercept of -2. And then the slope is 1, so that's like 1 over 1. So that would be up 1 over 1 like this. And in the other direction, it would go like this. All right, so I bet it's not going to go past here, so I don't have to keep going. So in fact, I'm going to look at the domain restriction right here, which tells me how much of this line I'm going to actually graph. I'm going to graph the part where the x values are between -2 and +2. So, so here's -2 and here's +2. So this is the point at -2, and this is the point that's at +2. Both of these should be closed circles. So I'm going to graph the points that are between -2 and +2. All right, so I'm going to erase all of that. So that's what the middle piece should look like. And finally, I will graph the third piece, which is y equals -2x. Again, there's no b value on the end, so the y-intercept must be 0. So this would start off at 0. And then the -2 means down to right 1. So down to right 1 would look like this. Now, looking at the domain restriction, the x values have to be greater than 2. So let's start off right at 2. All right, here's an x value of 2. Here is the point that's at 2. It should be an open circle because it doesn't have the or equal to part to it. Now, greater than 2 means going to the right, so that's why I'm going to draw this part of the graph. Okay, make sure that your final answer passes the vertical line test. Okay, so that is what the number 1 should look like. All right, now let's jump over and do number 2. All right, so this one's a little bit different. Notice there are no x's here. It's not 4x like this was 2x. This is just a 4. So y equals 4 is just a horizontal line at 4. So basically, y equals 4 would look like this. Okay, that's what y equals 4 would look like. But we're not going to graph that whole line. we're just going to graph the part where the x values are between 0 and 2. So here is 0, and here is 2. And this is between 0 and 2. Now, the 0 side should be a closed circle because of the or equal to. All right, so that's what the first piece should look like. I'm just going to erase my guideline there. All right, now y equals 5 is a horizontal line at 5. So this is the line y equals 5. But we're only going to graph the part of the line that is between 2 and 4. All right, so here is 2 and here is 4. Now the 2 side should be a closed circle. All right, so between. All right, I'm going to erase the guideline. So that's what the middle part should look like. Okay, and finally we will graph y equals 6. So again, that would be a horizontal line at 6 like this, only straighter. But we're going to graph the part of the line that is between 4 and 6. So here's 4, and here is 6, and this is between 4 and 6. Now the 4 side should be a closed circle because of the or equal to. And then I'm going to erase my guideline. So that is what problem number 2 should look like. So that is how you graph a piecewise function. I hope this was helpful. I will see you on the next video.